Welcome to the Slade Ham experiment. I'm Slade Ham. That makes me your host. This is my experiment. We're on board the Midnight Spaceship, redly aglow as I drift into the cosmos. I'm getting ready for a lot of things. I'm headed to Chile for 2 weeks. This may be the last episode for a while. I think I've been threatening that, but this may be an end of the year hiatus until I get back. I gotta go find some stuff to say. You know, I've been way too stationary. All good things come from experience. And when you sit in one place, you run out of shit to say. So I've got to go out and see the world. I got to go do something. I'm going to go duck through Patagonia and live a little bit of life and then come back and celebrate Christmas with my family and then figure everything else out after the first of the year. I got a new comedy special. I got a couple of shows coming up. One's at the Houston Improv, January 10th. I think tickets are right there underneath this jibber jabber. We'll see where this episode goes. There's been a lot of death around me lately. Is that an exciting place to start? Whoopee. Just people I know. You know, it's the older you get, the more frequently it happens. It sucks. An old friend of mine, he was old. He's also an old friend, but he was an old friend. He died. I'm sure it was natural causes. He's probably 80-something years old by now. From back in my hometown, or at least adjacent, a little place called Lumberton. He was what you might call a prepper of sorts, a survivalist. One of these people, not a real survivalist, but that guy we know. You know what I mean? You know the people who they're so prepared for the end of the world that they forget to live in the world that's not ended yet? Does that make sense? They'll have like a 4-bedroom house, which makes sense because they got like 4 kids, but they make all the kids sleep in one room because the other rooms are full of like canned beans and guns or you know, whatever you need for the end of the world. They're the ones who they're posting when there's a sale on shotgun shells. Y'all got to get to the Walmart. Here's the ammunition price right now. And then they just fill up these metal shells with ammunition and canned goods. And their kids are all sleeping in sleeping bags and quadruple bunk beds in the other room. Dad, can we use the other rooms? No. You always got to drive these people because their car runs on like used cooking oil or something. I was going to crank up the truck, but I couldn't make it down to the Chick-fil-A with a 55-gallon drum. It's an interesting way to direct your focus. Because they're always prepared for the most unlikely of scenarios. They're ready for everything except for the likely scenarios. They can do, I can start a fire with some steel wool and a battery. All right, I can start a fire with an oven in my finger. Boop. It's creative stuff. I can field dress a deer in the dark with a dull spoon. All right, and for now, I can walk down to the grocery store with my wallet. Guess who can buy less than 25 pounds of rice at a time? Me. I don't dislike the mindset. I understand it, right? Being prepared. But you can't live as if the worst case scenario has already occurred, which is what I think most survivalists do. They're not in the moment. They would if an elevator was falling, not an elevator, that's fast. If a plane was crashing, They would just ride it out and just die. I think I would do something, right? Hopefully you'd be with someone you loved and then everything's fair game. How long while a plane's falling out of a sky do you have to make a proposal to a stranger? It could be anything, really. But you got 2 minutes to go. You just gonna ride that. Oh, I've been miserable the whole time. I'll be miserable the whole way down. These people should enjoy their life. If you're one of these doomsday naysaying, prepared for the worst people, just enjoy your life a little. Think of the things you should eat. That canned chicken today. Don't wait. Make a bland meal of rice and canned chicken right now. Eat those MREs. Put some hot water in a bag and eat that chili mac. That's not future food. You eat that dehydrated ice cream today. Treat yourself. Dehydrated beef stroganoff? Why save that for later? That's not a delicacy for the future. That's a gift for now. What is the benefit to future Vienna sausage? No. I'm leaving it for my kids. No, you're not. Your kids are running away from home the first chance they get. Maybe not today because the woods are all full of traps around your house, but soon. Are you worried, Slade? Some of you probably bristling right now. Wait a second. You talking about me? No. Talking about y'all, plural. You may be part of y'all. Fine, I'm not letting you in. All right. That's what this old dude used to say. He used to tell me, all right, you can make fun of me, but don't come running to me when it all goes down. I may have said this before. I'm not concerned about that. Where I currently live, I have a fence. And then fuck off. That's my strategy. For the beginning of the war that's inevitably coming. I'm sure animals of some sort use that strategy. Just be more difficult than the neighbors. That's all. If I got a fence and nobody else has a fence, chances are you're going to go to the fenceless house first, the defenseless house. And eventually, yes, it's good. I'm going to have to deal with you when you have, I guess this is what happens in the apocalypse. No one works together. There's no cooperation. We just go eat our neighbors until there's no neighbors left. That's the world that you paint for me when you prep the way you do with your room full of ammunition. So assuming that happens, that whatever the king survivalist is starts eating all the people, and then they get to me, and it's just me and my family, then I like my chances. I think I could beat the boss. I really do. I think, survivalist dude, if you beat everybody else and it was just me and you, mano-y-mano, in the wild, I like my chances. I really do. Because I got something you don't. I got hope on my side. I've not been living in a container car my entire life, listening to CB radio and Blue Oyster Cult. That's not the world I've been living in. I've been living in a world of hope and happiness. And when the shit really hits the fan, I think that's going to give me an edge. Plus, I'm clever. I will paint a tunnel on a wall or a bunker entrance and you'll think it's real and you'll run into it. How hard can it be? I'll put some MREs under a piano. Come on. I just got to be a little more difficult than everybody else. And I'll broker some peace, I think. What do you need all that ammo for? That's my real question. What is the scenario? I mean, I get that it makes you feel good. It makes you, when there's a room full of ammunition, you do feel like you're in a better position. But say you have, what do you do with more than like 100 rounds? If you miss all 100, you deserve to be eaten. If you connect with what, how do they not get you on the reload? You just on the switch do you envision any world where you actually use all those bullets? I cannot. I would love to see the pile of bodies. This is not a video game. This isn't one of those, built tower defense. Are you just spraying and... Remember that scene in Predator when he just started shooting the trees? Like the end of that new Hunger Games movie? Oh, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. That doesn't really help. That doesn't tell you anything. Here's a All right. Back to I'll come back to bitching about these people in a minute. Because how hard is it to trick a rhino, right? I could totally do this. The new Hunger Games movie, sidebar, small spoiler alert. One of the competitors has Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. It's not in the book, I don't think, but maybe this is an illustration of how evil the districts are for sending people. And this is but come on, man, Darth Vader would not do that. Pure evil would not do. No one would do that. And in 3, 2, whatever I'm on, she doesn't use her super strength, which is even like, why even put her? All right. Back to my neighbor. That I don't have. I don't even have a survivalist neighbor. But if they did, they always seem so eager to have, I wish somebody would. They always say that, but I don't think they think that through. I wish they would. If someone breaks into your house and you shoot them, and I'm not saying if you made it all the way, I wouldn't do that. Okay? If for no other reason than to show you what you did it for. I'm not going to let you get out of here without knowing that you sacrificed your whole life for 4 black t-shirts, 2 pairs of sweatpants, and a PS5. That is a horrible thing to have given your life for. But look, you did it, and I got to show you. I hope someone does. If you shoot someone in your house, nobody cleans that up for you. I don't think the county just sends someone down with a fire hose. I think that's pretty much on you. I mean, you can call Mary Maids or something, but I think they're going to ask, hey, what's this sticky stuff on the stair rail? You got to go down to the store and rent the Stanley steamer and then bring it back home and figure out how to plug it in and which thing to pour the water in. And, oh, shit, that's not the right hole. Wait, where's the soap go? Oh, no, the living room's flooded. And now you got water and blood everywhere. This whole thing is terrible. You just got this living room full of exploding bags of meat and water balloons of blood everywhere, and it's all soaked, and you live there because you wish the motherfucker would. You're not a survivalist. Sometimes I watch those shows where people are surviving out in the wild, alone. Life Below Zero. A bunch of this stuff on the Disney Channel and stuff. And I thought I was a man, right? It's fun to watch this stuff. I lay on my couch. I think there's something we enjoy watching. That's our fascination with reality TV and stuff in general. I like laying on my couch in warm clothes under a blanket, watching people suffer. Oh, 20 degrees below zero. All you have is a bunch of pine needles. That's fun to watch. Makes me sleep comfortable at night. You're laying there in a reindeer stomach. I'm on my couch. And one show, Life Below Zero. There's a dude on there. I think it's Life Below Zero, The Next Generation. Johnny Rolfe. Like I'm fairly competent. I can fix a lot of things. I can start a fire under less than perfect conditions. I'm relatively clever, but I've never seen someone live completely reliant on themselves. I still require civilization. I still require a few things that, yes, were they to crumble, I would find myself in dire circumstances, despite the levity at which I talk about it, with which. But when you see someone who just every day has to wake up and go kill their food, that's why these survivalists don't impress me. All you did was buy a bunch of stuff at Costco and save it. That's not survivalism. These dudes get up and go hunt every day. Not every day, every meal. Oh, I had a squirrel for breakfast. Let me look in the fridge. Oh, wait, there's no fridge. I guess I'll go get a grouse for lunch. Can you imagine if you had to pluck every chicken you ate? If you had to skin every piece of meat you ate? And then this dude goes bear hunting. Will just go 60 miles away from his home, which is a tent in the snow, hunting bears. We'll kill one, then we'll field dress it, carry it 60 miles back, like on his back too. Not even with a sled. I'll just put this bear in my backpack. I'm over here with a lighter. This dude built a house in the woods, not even a house, like a smoke shack, like just a cabin. And to do it, he had to first make the wood. Make the wood. Had to go cut down a tree, then take that tree and cut it into boards. I didn't even know how that happened. I didn't know that did happen. I'm not certain I knew where wood came from. To be honest with you, it was just a thing that you went to Home Depot and got. Because we don't think about that stuff. He makes the planks. And to make the planks, in some instances, he had to make the saw. He's over here with a forge and a hammer, beating something and then grinding it down and then cut. And I'm just sitting here like a child, like a helpless child. That is survivalism. I'm a man, but I'm a man with jumper cables and a lawnmower and gasoline. I'm not a man with primitive stuff, barefoot, living in the 20 degrees below zero, building my own shelter. That's survivalism. That dude and roaches will be all that's left. Not me or you with your MREs and your canned goods and your 60,000 rounds of ammo that you can't lug anywhere because it weighs about the amount of a small mountain. Ugh. Those shows, the cameraman on those shows always gets me. Do they have to live like hobos too? Do they have to sleep in the snow? Or do they get to build like a nice warm fire and have a real campsite next to the person they're filming? If something goes down, do the cameramen help them? Or are they as emotionless as the wildlife cameramen? Because those dudes have Those are the most heartless. You ever watch a wildlife documentary and think to yourself, like, I would have said something. I wouldn't let that deer get ambushed like that. That was cold. You just sat there. You saw that tiger coming. The one that makes me laugh the most, it shouldn't make me laugh, but it does. You ever see it's on several different documentaries. You ever see the Masai Mara, the Mara River, cuts across eastern Africa? And it's the one where the wildebeests all back up to the edge. When on their migrations, they got to cross this big-ass river, and the river is full of monsters. I mean, monsters. 20-foot saltwater crocodiles just lined up like they're at a Golden Corral, just waiting on the buffet. Because they know all these wildebeests got to cross the river, and they can just pick off whichever ones they want. And the wildebeests all line up, and then they get more and more lined up, and it starts to pack up like a concert, people getting pressed up against the front row. And the cameraman's just right up on that. And you know those wildebeests are like, hey, bro, if you would move, a few more of us could get up here. There's fucking monsters in the river. Those camera dudes are so heartless. They know what's about to go down. They don't help. No part of them go, hey, psst. Come here. You ever see they'll snap. They'll try so they can get your face in the shot where the crocodile comes up and gets your neck. They don't care. Did you see that one on, was it Planet Earth 2? I can't remember. One of them, the walruses. That's not what they're called. The falling walruses. Walruses. I forget the island. There's this island in these. You know what a walrus is, right? A fat seal with the teeth, a saber-toothed fat seal. The big, these like 800, maybe like 2,000 pound. I don't know how big. It's like the size of cars. Hey Google, how much does a walrus weigh? I'm sorry for doing that to your machine.
An adult walrus weighs on average 1,012.5 kilograms.
Okay, well, she gave it to me in Canadian. 1,012.5 kilograms. I don't even know what that is. I now have less information than I had when I asked you the dumb question, you jackwag. What is that? 2,500 pounds? I don't know how much a walrus weighs. I know they're giant. They're about the size of a slug bug. Remember the car you would hit your brother with on the way to Slade when you were 9? All right, anyway, the walruses, for some unknown reason, I don't remember, they probably explained it, would climb to the top of this tall cliff, right? They would blip, 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 blip. They would just cubert their way up this blip, 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 all the way to the top. And then suicide. They would just jump. They weren't up there looking for fish. They were, for whatever reason, they were up there. And then they would jump. And if you've never seen a 1-ton walrus just go flying off the edge of and they would flip and they would fall like they were flung from a trebuchet. They just walruses Thelma and Louising themselves off the edge of this cliff, and the camera dudes are just focusing in on it all while these bags of meat bloop, 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 are just falling all over the bottom. I guess they're down there collecting tusks and selling them on eBay. I don't know what they're doing, but they didn't bat an eye. They didn't put up a sign that said wrong way written in walrus. They didn't throw some fish in a basket and put it on the low ground off to the left. Nothing. They just let these fat blobby things walk up to the top and fall off the cliff so they could tape it. I will never, if you ever date a wildlife photographer, be prepared to be broken up with in the most heartless of ways. They're going to let you go and move on with their life with just a little bit of commentary. The wild stallion moved on with his life while his former partner was devoured by by former classmates who saw she was single on Facebook. That's a terrible accent. All right, whatever. I'm coughing. I gotta go. That's enough event. That's good. I've spoken my piece. Rest in peace, survivalist friend. You didn't need all that stuff. You could have lived some life in there. You made it all the way to the end. And it didn't end. Go live a little. I got shows coming up. Probably a break. I'm going to Chile. Happy Thanksgiving. All that stuff to you. I'll be back sometime in December. Maybe a surprise episode from the road. No promises. Another Slade runner coming up soon. But please stick around. Hit the sub button. Pay attention if you can. The new special's coming out. Lots of comedy clips coming out. I can't wait to show. 2024 is going to be absolutely insane for me. And I hope you're here for the ride. Thanks so much. I'll see you on another episode soon.